So I hope you can hear me okay over the rain. It's raining very heavily at the moment. I'm just sat in my car waiting to go into work. And I just felt compelled to speak about feeling worthy in magic. And I know I've spoken about this topic before in a previous video, but something came up recently where someone commented on a video recommending a book on health or healing magic from the Gallery of Magic. And thank you to that person for recommending that book, because I went online and I bought it straight away. Well, I kind of did, and that's there was a bit of hesitancy, and that's the reason for me talking about this, is because I went online to look at it and I was sort of just reading the information about it. What immediately came into my mind was I should be able to do this by myself, and I did feel that there was a sense of, if you do the magic, it probably won't work. And that's not because I doubted the magic as such, it's because I was having doubts that I was worthy to even perform the magic. And so the two parts to that are, I should be able to handle it myself. And that's an attitude that has followed me throughout my life, really. This sense of independence to the point of shunning any help whatsoever. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, I had to really learn to ask for help. I didn't like doing that. I like to be able to do things myself, but I had to just admit that there were certain things I couldn't do at a certain point in time. So that came up again with this. It's a sense of, well, I shouldn't rely, or I shouldn't be doing magic for this, because really I should be able to get on with it myself. And I'm not, when I'm talking about sort of health and healing magic, I'm not talking about foregoing conventional medicine. I know there are people that would argue against going with conventional medicine, and that's their choice. I'm not here to get into that debate. I've had the treatment that was recommended to me, and I'm glad that I did. I have no regrets about it, but it's left me with some challenges. It's left me with fatigue and tiredness and the need for me to pace myself and not just going about my life as I used to, unfortunately. So I've had my treatment as such, but it's now the kind of aftermath of that and taking care of myself in my quote unquote new normal, if you like, my new baseline, I guess. And then the second part was the worthiness. I guess this is one of the lessons I'm learning, I'm still working through when it comes to my magical practice, is that sense of being worthy to perform certain magical workings. I don't know where this lack of worth has come from. It's not to say I've never struggled with self-esteem and confidence, because I certainly have, but I kind of thought I had moved on from that. I thought I'd got a good sense of self-esteem, but there's something really quite sticky about this sense of self-worth and magic and asking for what I need. I am aware that a lot of asking for what I need, the reluctance around that comes from not wanting to bother people, not wanting to put people out. And I'm guessing that that then extends to the entities that I'm calling up when I do pieces of magic. I don't want to bother entities. I have thought to myself before, well, if I do this piece of magic, are they looking at me and thinking, well, you don't deserve this, I'm not going to work with you because you're not worthy to do this magic? I don't feel that I ever go into my magical workings with a sense of arrogance. I'm not going into these workings commanding any entities to do anything. If anything, I'm more likely to go, oh, please help. Don't feel you have to, but please help. I go in with a lot of humility, and well, I feel I go in with a lot of humility and a lot of respect, because these entities don't have to do anything for me if they don't want to. That's not what I'm about. But I'm also of a mind that I don't know if I really deserve what I'm asking for. And then when I do have results, which I have had results, I don't know if that's proof that I am worthy, or whether the entities that I work with are just not interested in worth. It's not part of their decision as to whether they do things for people. But certainly I think I need to work through it for myself, not just, I mean, magic is one thing, but in my mundane life, asking for what I need. And I've needed to do quite a bit of that to do with my cancer diagnosis, because there are certain aspects of monitoring this going forward that were not open to me. That was really hard for me to take, because I thought, well, if nothing is being monitored, how do I know whether this thing has spread or not? And so I've had to speak to people and ask them, please, can we please organise some monitoring for this? And I have managed to obtain that, which is good. It's been a battle to ask for those things, because again, that's me asking for what I need, and I hate putting people out. I hate being a nuisance, and I felt really bad. So it's been a real stepping outside of my comfort zone to do that. The sense of asking for things and not feeling worthy of them, it's not Magick specific. This has been my difficulty for many years, but it's interesting how I really sort of noticed it when I was about to order the Health Magick book, and I did feel quite emotional about that, thinking, well, why shouldn't I do magic for health? What's wrong with me asking for that? I think this is where Magick can highlight those parts of ourselves which we find tricky, whether it is asking for help or other things. And I think that's a really good opportunity to learn. Magick can help us learn about those things and also work on them so that they present less of a problem in future. I think the key is to not let it dissuade me from asking for what I want, not let it put me off of doing magic, but do the magic anyway. It's like I've mentioned before the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I read that when I was 19 and I enjoyed it, but I don't think I really understood it as well as I do now. Don't let anxieties and worries stop you from doing the things you want to do. You can still do the things you want to do whilst feeling the anxiety. So whilst I may feel unworthy and like I'm being a nuisance when I ask for certain things, whether that's in magic workings or mundane life, I should still ask for those things, because as I've experienced, I've got a good result that I wanted and that will put me at peace of mind for the foreseeable future. And if I hadn't have pushed through those fears and that awkwardness, I would not have got that. Push through the feelings, allow those feelings to be there, but don't allow them to put you off from doing those things, because I suspect that you will regret not doing them, but you will never regret doing the thing that you were fearful of. I'm willing to bet there's always some learning and always some good that comes out of the other side of it. That's my mini ramble from inside my car. The rain is going off now, so I'm going to make an attempt to get into work. Thank you for listening. Be well, and I will speak to you again soon.